be sure to check out Rob Plays. There you can hang out with me while we play video games and talk about life stuff. So continuing our discussion on All New, All Different Marvel and Civil War II, what I wanted to do here is have a discussion about the All New, All Different Ultimates. And what I'm hoping is that by the end of all this, you'll have a strong understanding of the team, as well as how they originated in the Marvel Prime universe. That said, as we get into this, something I want to do here is take a step back and clarify the difference between the new version of the Ultimates and the team as it existed in the Ultimate Universe. In 2000, when Marvel looked to reinvent their lineup for newer audiences, as part of the overall idea to reconstruct existing concepts into something new, the Avengers Team was reimagined in 2002 under the writing and artistry of Mark Millar and Brian Hitch respectively, rechristening the team as the Ultimates. Originally consisting of Captain America, Bruce Banner, Hank Pym, Janet Pym, and Tony Stark, the team was originally assembled as a government-sponsored strike force under director Nick Fury, and later joined by Thor during their efforts to subdue Bruce Banner after transforming into his Hulk form. Existing as a series of limited runs spanning 13 to 15 issues over 6 volumes, the Ultimates served to represent the real-life war on terror within the comic book realm, facing their own trials and tribulations against both public opinion and government oversight regarding their own actions and the perception of both Bruce Banner and Thor. To this end, with various writers including Jonathan Hickman and Jeff Lowe providing their own take on the team and how their stories unfolded, most all underlying concept remained the same, and that the Ultimates served at the pleasure of the US government, were led by Nick Fury, and operated out of the Triskelion, an island-based military installation/prison, not unlike its depiction in the Marvel films. However, with the intention of Marvel to relaunch its company-wide branding as All New, All Different following the conclusion of Secret Wars, the Ultimates team as it existed within the Ultimate Universe was removed and replaced with the All New, All Different iteration of Black Panther, Miss America, Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau, and Adam Brashear. Written by Al Ewing and drawn by Kenneth Rocafort, during a 2015 interview with Comic Book Resources prior to its launch, Al Ewing had stated that the Ultimates title was not designed to be a continuation of the All New, All Different Marvel line, and instead had used the Ultimates name to indicate that the team dealt with ultimate problems threatening both the Marvel Prime universe and the multiverse itself. While the series initially introduced its various characters without any kind of backstory, with issue number 8 tying into the events of Civil War II, the origin of the team was finally revealed. Taking place at some point following Carol Danvers' appointment to the leader of SWORD and its Alpha Flight Strike Force, Danvers had come to the conclusion that with SWORD operating to survey foreign worlds, assess their threats to Earth, and catalog the information, the organization operated in a defensive capacity and couldn't be everywhere at once. As a result, Danvers looked to create a branch-off team of SWORD proper, which would operate alongside the organization but in a more free-flowing capacity, allowing the team to travel within the universe, assessing threats directly, and reporting their findings back to SWORD. Initially enlisting Black Panther owing to a combination of his intelligence, influence in the political community, and Wakanda's various technologies, Black Panther agreed to join, but also pointed Carol Danvers in the direction of Adam Brashear. Now, Adam is a character that I have discussed in previous videos, however, that discussion is largely isolated to his origin story as it was written by Kevin Graveau. In truth, following his initial introduction, Blue Marvel did not play a major role within the larger Marvel landscape. Instead, because his character possessed a level of power equal to the Sentry and the Hulk, as well as intelligence that placed him near to Reed Richards, the various writers of Marvel Comics had a hard time creating relatable stories that centered on Adam. Instead, Blue Marvel was rolled over into a series of teams including Luke Cage's Mighty Avengers, and even battled an alternate reality version of Hyperion. As a result, Adam was considered to be lost on a kind of no man's land regarding his place in the larger Marvel landscape. To this end, the inclusion of Blue Marvel both within and without Marvel Comics provides us with a place for him to grow and serve some major use, without creating a quagmire of turning him into a brawler with no real purpose. Considering Danvers' offer of having the team work in a capacity more akin to explorers instead of search and destroy, Adam Brashear agreed to join and pointed Carol Danvers in the direction of a woman named Monica Rambeau, who operates under the moniker of Spectrum. Now, Monica is a character that we've never talked about before, and this was due to the fact that we didn't really have a reason to. However, with her inclusion into the Ultimates line, now seems a good time to talk about her and offer an explanation even if it's only on a modest scale. Originally created in 1982 by Roger Stern and John Romita Jr., Monica Rambeau was established to be a native of Louisiana and possessed the power to transform her body into pure energy. While most older fans recognize her as the third iteration of Captain Marvel behind the original Marvel of the Kree and Carol Danvers herself, The name of Captain Marvel was actually bestowed on Rambeau by the media as opposed to taking it up for herself. Monica's time on the Avengers team spanned some 120 issues, including the 90s Maximum Security crossover, and even saw her elevated to the team's leader in an effort to bolster her position among readers. However, because Glenn Herdling's writing style regarding Monica Rambeau during Avengers Unplugged had failed to resonate with fans during his time on the series, following his departure and much like Adam Brashear, Monica fell to the wayside, becoming an on-again, off-again member of the team, occasionally providing some measure of assistance to the group. As a result, in between the late 1990s going into the mid-2010s, Monica went through a series of character changes and was transitioned from one team to the next, including the Thunderbolts and the Mighty Avengers, but found less and less success with each change. And so going into the post-Secret Wars landscape, while I haven't been able to find a reason for it, logic would dictate that the Ultimates line was selected as Marvel's home for misfit toys, allowing the team to include Monica among its less successful heroes, looking for a place of normalcy. Now following this, we pick up with the US Security Council. Something I want to point out here though is that the US Security Council functioned as the arm of the president when dealing with national security and the various threats across the world that deal with the United States. At this time, because the US Security Council consists of the heads of the various security agencies from around the country, including the FBI and the CIA, a man named Philip Nelson Vaught is brought on board as part of the NSA for the purpose of monitoring the Ultimates as a whole, especially Blue Marvel. To sidetrack for a second, because the origin of Adam Brashear involved the issue of racial problems in the United States during the 1960s, where the Kevin Graveau miniseries saw Brashear stepping down and living out a quiet life, he still remained in the eye of the US government, which continually monitored him due to both the power he possessed and what he represented as a symbol of the black community. And to this end, because the all-new, all-different Marvel line continued most of the themes from the original Marvel Universe, the Ultimates continue to operate as a branch of the Avengers but sanctioned by the US government and monitored by the NSA, who operated behind the scenes. From here, we're actually going to bypass the first 4 issues of Ultimates and jump to number 5. The reason for this is that the first 4 issues of the series actually cover the group's transformation of Galactus from the World Devourer into the Lifebringer. Now, if this is something that you're actually interested in looking at, you can find it in my video on All New All Different Galactus Explained, which you'll find in the description. But following the Ultimates' actions towards Galactus, the group shifted their focus to time itself. Now the reason why this matters is that what Al Ewing does throughout his time on the title is give us an idea of how the all-new, all-different Marvel Universe relates to the pre-Secret Wars universe, but also tie in a lot of the concepts that answer the question about time itself. Where common knowledge holds that Marvel uses branch universe theory and that every possible action spawns a reality where the opposite of that action occurred, Al Ewing offers a retcon to this information using a concept called the Doom Lock. Originally introduced in X Factor Volume 3, issue number 46 in 2009, while the concept was only mentioned, the Doom Lock was created by Victor Von Doom and allowed individuals to move back and forth through time without creating divergent timelines. As a result, instead of Cable traveling into the past and committing an act which would change his future and create a new timeline, a Doom Lock allows the actions of Cable to affect only the existing timeline without affecting anything else. However, by tying into the events of Age of Ultron, because the crossover revealed time to be a living construct which waxes and wanes and is on the verge of being broken, the Ultimates look to fix this problem by traveling outside the known multiverse, observe time, and fix it. Traveling outside of all space and time into regions unknown, during their journey, the Ultimates stumble across a man named Connor Sims, also known as the Anti-Man. Now to sidetrack again, Connor Sims was a character that we had talked about during my discussion on Blue Marvel's origin, in that the Anti-Man had suddenly appeared on Earth and laid waste to the Avengers, leading to their mad dash to locate Brashear, during which time the entirety of Connor's origin story was provided. As it was stated, when Brashear had worked to develop the particle accelerator, where both Adam Brashear and Connor Sims were blasted with particle energy allowing them to manipulate antimatter, Adam's molecular structure remained intact. However, for Connor Sims, much like a Jenga game, the blocks of his molecules were unstable and missing in certain places, requiring him to fill the holes using antimatter as an energy source. While this did allow Connor an extraordinary amount of strength and speed, at the conclusion of Blue Marvel's origin story, Adam had created another particle accelerator and used it to disperse the atoms of Connor Sims across all space and time, effectively killing him. Now how it is that Connor had reformed was never explored after Kevin Graveau's original story, and that Connor Sims was never brought back. But with his return during Al Ewing's run, Al Ewing actually doesn't provide an answer to this. Instead, Connor is given to us as part of an ongoing story and that after rescuing him and bringing Connor aboard the ship, Connor's power to sense and manipulate antimatter allows the Ultimates to access a gateway to the space beyond the multiverse. From here, we begin to intertwine with my all-new Galactus video, and that after traveling into the depths of pure emptiness, their group is stalked by Galactus himself, who was sent by Eternity in its efforts to keep the Ultimates from discovering an unknown secret to creation. Now exactly what this secret is seems to be held by Al Ewing as a reveal for Marvel Now 2.0, but with Connor Sims on board, he informs the group that some kind of force has placed a barrier around all reality, keeping them from escaping and chaining the cosmic entity Eternity. Following this, where the Ultimates are returned to the Marvel Prime reality by Galactus, my videos on the Cosmic Cube, All New Thanos, All New Galactus, and All New Celestials come together for a larger picture revealing that Thanos had entered the Marvel Prime universe through a portal opened by Galactus after returning the Ultimates to Earth, and had looked to take possession of the Cosmic Cube as it was created by Project Pegasus during Avengers standoff, leading to a battle against the Avengers themselves alongside the Ultimates who had been forewarned of Thanos' arrival by Ulysses of the Inhumans. Where the Avengers and the Ultimates defeated Thanos but lost James Rhodes in the process, after Thanos was captured by S.H.I.E.L.D. and held at the NSA, the Ultimates, the Avengers, the X-Men, the Inhumans, and various other groups came together in their efforts to defeat a Celestial from another reality, kickstarting the events of Civil War II, and the question of whether Ulysses' ability to see the future was a gift or a curse for humankind. With that being said, we're going to bring this video to an end, and let me know how you guys feel about the Ultimates. I'm a little curious, and I will catch you all later. Peace.